Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. Today we are outside. It is an absolutely beautiful day today. It is like 77 degrees, complete sun, no rain in the forecast for the next 3 days. So I'm going to try to take as much advantage as I can to get some things done outside because y'all, we've been ducking and dodging rainstorms, thunder and lightning, tornado watches, and tornado warnings. It has been something else over the last few days. So I am excited about 2 to 3 days of sunshine, trying to get some stuff done. So my original goal was I was going to work in the tunnel today, but it is absolutely too hot right now. This is the time that I have that I'm free today, but it's absolutely too hot. So I had to kind of change course. And we're going to work outside in the outside garden today and take some of the stuff we were going to do in there. We're going to take it outside. And I cannot wait to show you some of the new and exciting things that we're going to be doing in this video, as well as some stuff that we just got to do. Some good old regular garden tasks. But first, y'all, first, if you are new here, I'm so glad that you came by. My name is Barbara, and I live in Tennessee in Zone 7B. And if you're one of my regular followers, thank you so much for being here. But y'all, let me tell you about my new toy. I know I love gadgets. Y'all know I love things that make things organized, efficient, and I try to be intentional. Those are the 3 things that I talk about a lot on this channel. So y'all, did you see me rolling in with my stuff? Did you see me rolling in with my new garden cart? I want to thank Vego for sending me this amazing garden cart. And y'all, I cannot wait to show you. I love her, okay? People say, why do you always genderize stuff? I don't know, but I love her. Let me go get her and show her. First of all, let me just wheel her. Let me just wheel her. Do you see how smooth she moves across the grass and the, uneven terrain? And this is what I have in here. I brought my stuff that we're going to use. So I brought my stuff that I'm going to need out here. I have a whole thing of soil. Inside the soil, I got seeds. I got my cups. I got my chargers. This is what we're going to be working on today. We're going to be doing some comfrey cuttings. And I got my bottle of water. Y'all, it has a handle. Let me unlock the handle. Comes up like that. It is made out of quality material. It is so durable, y'all. It is so durable. Okay, guys, so let me tell you about this wagon cart. Number 1, it actually has cup holder. So it's 2 cup holders on the side so you can put a bottle of water, and my Stanley cup fits just right. So I love that about it. I love the fact that it is durable, y'all. It is 2 cubic feet, and so it holds a ton of stuff. You see I got this big old thing of a basket in there that I just put soil in, and I got some other stuff, and I still got space. And then also I was telling you how good it rolls on the grass. The wheels are all-terrain wheels, and they're 5 inches, so it can go over mud, soft grass, hard grass, rocks. It is built. I cannot tell you enough how sturdy and durable and high quality this is. You could take this to the beach. I'm going to be using it in the garden. But y'all, before I brought it down to the garden, we actually used it this morning. We had groceries delivered to the house, and they dropped them off at my front door. So my son used the cart to get the groceries from the front door to wheel them to the kitchen, and then all the things that were supposed to go outside in our garage and our other freezers and refrigerators, he took the cart and wheeled it out there so he could just make one fell trip instead of just carrying 2 bags at a time and coming back and getting bags and bags and bags. So I'm gonna get me another one for the house, because this right here is amazing. How I see myself using this is what I just did, like bringing stuff from the tunnel to the garden. Also, I could put bags of soil in here, and that way I don't have to carry it from point A to point B. The wind has picked up. Okay, so there are so many things that I can use it for, and what you can use it for too. Click the link in my description. It'll be the first thing in the description. You can get 5% off. Use my link, you get 5% off. Y'all, you need to get one of these. When I tell you it's a game changer, I don't say that about every product. Now, there are lots of products that I love, but when I say game changer, meaning it's going to change the game. Like, it's going to make you more efficient and more organized, because you don't have to carry stuff. You can just put it in your cart and just wheel it to wherever you want to be. Especially when you have spaces like mine where you're gardening in more than one space, or there is a distance between what you have and where you're trying to go. I cannot say enough great things about my garden cart. I love it. I love her. You need to get you one. Click the link in my bio. And now let's talk about the stuff that we're about to do in this video. Okay. All right, guys, now let's unload our cart. And one thing I forgot to mention is that it's also collapsible, which is important because that way you can save space. So I can just put it up, you know, leave it out here or put it up in the tunnel. Stanley, you just sent me. Stanley, you just sent me something. As much as I'm always silently advertising their product, I never talk about it, but I love my Stanley cup. If you're a Stanley cup, put it down in the comments. Okay, so we have our soil, we have our pots, we have seeds. So today we're going to be actually starting some seeds, and I'm going to tell you about that and why. But we're also, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually plant some comfrey cuttings, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing it and what's going on with that. So we have our actual comfrey here, and then I have here just my fanny pack with chargers and mic and all that good stuff. So this actually collapses. Let me just show you how that works. So just like that, and then you can carry it by the handle. So we'll put this up against the table for when we need it next. Okay, so one of the first things we're gonna do is actually start some comfrey from cuttings. So you guys know that I have a beautiful comfrey plant that I started last year. And I started it in a pot because it's my first time growing comfrey. And I bought cuttings from, I think it was, I don't remember the place where I got them, but I bought some cuttings online because I had tried to start with comfrey seeds, and comfrey seeds take a long time to germinate. So I went ahead and bought cuttings last year. I put the comfrey in a pot. It grew so fast, within 2 weeks, I moved it from the pot to its current location, which is in one of my metal raised beds. It lasted and did well all up until probably December or January, when the temperatures just got extremely low and we did not cover it. And so it died back. And then it started coming back in, like, I would say March or April, and now it's big and beautiful within like 30 days. But the comfrey that you see out there, a part of that is from a cutting. So in February, I had a friend come over and she showed me how to take comfrey cuttings. I did not video it because she did not want to be filmed, and I always respect when people do not want to be filmed and put on YouTube because it's not their thing, it's my thing. So I did not film it, but she showed me how to take comfrey cuttings, and y'all, I got 2 bags this size of comfrey cuttings. If you don't know what they look like, this is what they look like. Yep, this was done in February 2025. I'm glad I put the date on here. And they have been in my refrigerator because you need to keep them cool until you use them. You don't want to just leave them out. So you can see, and this is a big piece. And so she was telling me that I could literally take 1 inch, literally one inch cuttings and put it in soil. It would grow a whole new comfrey plant. Now I tried that back in February, and I did, I think, 4, and I got 1 out of the 4. And I think it was just because, again, it was colder in that time and I was not diligent about coming out to water them because they were on another side of the greenhouse and I literally just kind of forgot about them. So I want to try it again and try to do it the right way. There's warm weather. Put it in a place where I'm going to remember to water it, because many of you have asked me about buying comfrey cuttings from my comfrey plant, but I'm not going to sell anything unless I know for a fact that I'm selling you something that is going to root for you. So this is the reason why I'm doing it. Now, I did get 1 out of the 4, and that 1 is actually what you see growing. Now, when I put my 1 in there, the other old comfrey had died back. It was no other comfrey in there. I put mine in there and it started growing. And then I noticed that the original, I guess something that was left over from the original plant, was growing as well. But I had, part of that is my cutting, right? So I do know that it works, but because it was 1 out of 4 and I wasn't diligent, I'm not going to sell something that I cannot stand behind, right? And because it came from my plant, I want to make sure. So we're going to actually do this together. Okay, so we are going to do, I think I'm going to do 12. Now, what I'm going to do with 12 comfrey plants, I'm just going to have to sell the comfrey plants locally if they all take root. But if I have success and they root, then you and I will both know these comfrey cuttings are good. And then if you want to buy some comfrey cuttings, then I will make them available for sale. If it does not work, then I'm not going to sell them. Okay. So just know that. Now, if you're local to me and you want to just try a piece, if they don't work, then I may give you a piece. But if they don't work, I'm not going to sell it. So just know that. Okay. So we're going to do this together. And literally, this is a big piece, right? Literally, you can take, and she told me, because she does it all the time, the lady who taught me how to take my comfrey cuttings. And next year, when it's time to take comfrey cuttings, I will video that, if hopefully I remember how to do it. It wasn't hard. But she literally said you can just take 1 inch of this and put it in dirt, and then it's going to grow. So let's try it. Let's see. And I think I may do varying things. So let's see if I can get a good place where we can see. Okay, we have our pots, and y'all, the sun is so bright out here that it is very hard to see if you can see me clearly. So I'm hoping that you can. So we're going to use our little, I think these are 3-inch pots, and I'm trying to think. I don't want to do 12. Let's do 8. Because I don't need any more comfrey. Like, the one comfrey plant that I have grows enough for me to do what I need to do with. Like, literally, you guys know that we sell our comfrey salve on our shop. And, okay, you guys know that we sell our comfrey salve on our shop. And the comfrey that I produced from that one bed was enough for us to sell over 100 comfrey salves last year. I actually just made more comfrey salve this week. So if you need some, you can go to our shop, livingfoodsfarm.com, to get it. I made, I think, an extra 24, and then I have 1 whole more jar of the harvest from last year, and I already have comfrey left. So I don't need any more comfrey plants. 1 is enough for me. And so I don't want to do too many. So let's put some dirt. See how handy this is? Because we were going to do this on the table out there, but because it's so hot in there, I'm not complaining about the sun, but man, it makes it hard when you're trying to capture content. So I'm putting some dirt. Y'all, this worked out so perfectly. I like having this table out here in my garden, that I've decided to just keep it out here. It's just gonna make it easier, especially when we're harvesting. I can put stuff on the table, like my bins and stuff, and it's gonna create less bending for me. Y'all know I got knee issues. I have to tell you about what a knee update later. Let's not talk about that now. Let's enjoy the sun. But anyway, it's gonna be nice, and then I can come out here and do this, because if I didn't have this table, I wouldn't be able to do this out here. And it's absolutely too hot. It's not hot out here where I am. It's just the sun is like right in my face. Basically, I'm just putting some soil in, and so we have our comfrey cuttings, and like I said, we're going to do some small pieces. I'm just cutting. You see how small that is? That is probably 1 inch. And we're going to literally just put it in the soil and cover it up. That's all we're going to do. So I'm going to cut some pieces. So it doesn't take much at all. I got all varying sizes. And this is going to be too big, because we'll put that one there. Okay. So I got 6 out of just that one little piece. So all I need now is 2 more pieces. Yep. Okay. So we'll do 9, just because I had already cut this piece. And I don't know if it matters if you've already cut it. So let's do 9. Put this in here. And then we're just going to cover it with dirt, and then we're going to water it in. Just like that. And all I used was 2 pieces out of this whole bag. And some pieces are bigger than others. So if I'm looking at it, cup 3 at the top has a big piece in it. has the biggest piece. All the rest of them are pretty small pieces like what you saw. That's it. We're going to water it in. But before we do that, we're actually going to start some lettuce seeds. And so I'm just going to use the remaining of these 3 spaces. But I don't want to put my lettuce seed. Do I want to put it in this cup? I don't think so. That may be a little big. Let me grab another one. So I'm going to just do 1 6-pack of lettuce seed because I want to see if I can get some more lettuce to last through the summer. So I tried this 2 years ago. It worked pretty well. I had lettuce pretty much all the way to like maybe the middle of August, and then it just got too hot. Now I also didn't do what I was supposed to do. So there's a gardener, and I told you about him before. I took his class 2 years ago. I went to a workshop, but he is in my zone. He's like 2 hours from me, and he grows lettuce all year round. He has a whole master class about it. He has a book. His name is Ray Tyler, if you want to check him out. But he grows and says that you can grow lettuce all year round. And I was on his farm, and he absolutely does grow lettuce all year round. There's stuff that you have to do. And again, I won't tell all the ins and outs, the secrets. Go buy the book, go take the master class, do whatever you need to do. But I am going to try to do it a little bit better than I did last year. But I'm going to do the variety that I always do in the summer that is heat resistant, which is Muir. You can get it from Johnny's or Haas Seeds. So I am going to, well, first, let me get the hose pipe and water this stuff so that my soil is wet, and then I can water these Comfrey seeds in too. But I'm just going to do a 6-pack, and because I don't need that much lettuce, but I want to have some throughout the summer, and I just want to try it again as an experiment. I do still have some lettuce growing. It's actually doing really well right now, even with the shade cloth not being on in the tunnel. But just in case, I want to have another succession of lettuce coming in. And what I'm going to do is, once I'm going to actually take these probably in the house, maybe. I hadn't thought about that. I'm definitely not going to put them in the tunnel because it's too hot. Lettuce does not need that much heat to germinate. You know, it's a cool season crop. It may get too hot with it being 100 and something degrees in there. So I may just take these in my house, let them germinate, and then have them outside, like either on my front porch or out here, I don't know, in my house or something, until they get established. And then when it's time to put them in the tunnel, then I'm going to try and put them in a section where I can actually have a hoop and cover them with some insect netting on days when it's really hot. That's my plan. We'll see what happens. But let me go find the hose pipe. Okay, guys, so I got everything watered in. We are good to go. And I think I'm just going to let them sit out here or in the tunnel. I haven't decided. And I just remembered that my seat got wet as I just sat down with the hose pipe. But it's just lightly misted. And you know what? I'm just going to sit here because the coolness actually feels good. Okay, so we already got our things watered. So let's just put our lettuce seeds in here. Y'all, it feels so funny starting seeds. We hadn't done this oh, these are pelleted too. Who knew? I didn't know these were pelleted. Great. Germination rate, 95%. Y'all, if you're sleeping on Haas Tools, I don't mention them a lot, but I do buy seeds from them when it's something. It's not one of the main people that I use because they don't have everything that I need. But when I'm looking for something that's unique or that I can't find anywhere else, I go to Haas Tools. And I didn't know that I did good by getting some pelleted seeds, and they were packed for 2025, which is awesome. I love pelleted seeds. You can see the difference between pelleted seeds. They have that coating on it, so it makes it easy to just sow one individually, versus lettuce seeds are so small, you have to usually put a lot in here. So I'm going to put 2 in each one. The germination rate is 95%, so we should come away with at least 6. I'm going to do 3 because at the end of the day, if I can get 12 plants, that'd be good. And one of the reasons is because, y'all, I have had 2 big lettuce orders over the last 2 weeks, which from a church. And I'm like, ooh, I want to be able to supply that if I can, because they do like a potluck every weekend. So you can't find lettuce for sale from a local farmer in the summer in my area because most people don't grow lettuce in the summer because, again, it likes cool weather. It's not very heat tolerant. And even when you grow just heat tolerant lettuce, it's only going to last, you know, a certain amount of time. but we're going to try it. Here are seeds. And with pelleted seeds, I'm going to try this. I've never tried it, but a friend of mine, a gardening friend of mine, she went to this workshop and she was telling me that with pelleted seeds, like you don't even have to push them down. You can just leave them right on top as long as they make contact with the soil. So yeah, we're going to try it. We're going to try. I'm not even going to cover them with soil. I'm just going to push them down so they're making contact with the soil. Good. I'm going to mist them. And we're going to see what happens. Lettuce seeds germinate usually pretty fast for me. So I should have lettuce seeds in the next 4 to 5 days easily. And I'll keep you posted on how that does. Now on to our next project. So let's do a quick one that we're gonna knock out. I think what I'm gonna do is since I have the hose pipe up here, I'm gonna actually, you see all these trays that I have here? I am going to spray them down and get them cleaned up for storage. This was a beautiful day to go ahead and get this done. The fact that I already had the table out here, the hose pipe I had pulled up, it just seemed like a perfect opportunity to get this done. So I start off by just, clearing the table of dirt and stuff. Not that it's going to stay 100% clean, but I'm just trying to let it be clean and not have a lot of dirt on it and to get organized. So I spray the table down and just move, the stuff out of the way that I don't want to get wet. And then I go over to the trays and start to attack the trays. I have several trays out here. I have several pots, some of them that still have dirt in them. So I empty the dirt out and we just start a cleaning project. When I first started, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll just do a few trays at a time and I'll do this. But then as I got into it, I just kept going. I clean my trays after every season, the summer gardening season and the fall and winter gardening season. And typically at this summer season, I just rinse my trays with a heavy stream of water. I do take the pots in the house and wash them with like soapy water and stuff, but the trays, I just try to get them as clean as possible with a thing of water. And then usually in the fall, after the fall and gardening season is over, I will again clean trays again with the trays that I've started with seeds. Those are usually less because I start way less seeds in the fall than I do in the summertime. But some of you, I think you can clean it with alcohol. You can bring them into your house and clean it with soapy water. I do the soapy water about once a year, but then the other time that I clean, I just use this method and just use a hose pipe and just get all the dirt off and all of that. But you do want to clean your trays no matter what method you use so that you don't have any bacteria or anything that's a fungus or a disease, hanging out in your pots with your soil. So make sure that after each season that you are cleaning your pots and your trays and you're not just leaving them out there and then just putting new seeds and new soil in them. Okay, y'all, I have made significant progress. All of these are clean. This whole stack is clean. All of these are clean. And all of these are clean. The only thing I have left is this one tray right here with all of these 2-inch pots. This tray and then all these pots, and that's it. These are going to the trash. These are the ones that are torn. I've wiped, or not wiped, but watered down the table. So it is coming into focus. So I only have this one tray right here, but I'm gonna actually break off and focus on something else. And I'll come back to this. Y'all, it feels so good. It feels so good to get this done. And one of the things that I'm loving about today is that the weather is so mild and nice that I couldn't be in the tunnel, but I could be outside here. I came out here around 3-ish, and I've been out here a couple of hours. Again, I had my music going. I did a live in between while I was doing the trays and stuff. Y'all, it is so peaceful. And I'm mad now, not mad. I hate that I'm going to have to stop in a little while because I have to go in the house and get dolled up and change clothes because I'm on this panel tonight for an HR, for a business conference that I'm talking about, HR, my other job. So I got to go in the house. But if I did not have to stop for that, I could literally be out here till it's dark. And this will be the most time I would have spent in the garden in a continuous basis. Yeah. Because when it's really hot outside, I can't come out here in the middle of the day because it's absolutely too hot. And so I'm always either have to come out early in the morning or I have to wait until the sun starts to kind of abate, which is usually around 5. And so I may get like 5 to 7 in. So it's like 2 hours. But I never have 4 or 5 hours in the garden with great weather Like, I'm not even breaking a sweat. Like, I never have that. And the fact that I gotta change and go in the house and like transition my mind and do all that, out of all the days. And then tomorrow I have a light day in terms of my business. But then we got some graduation. I got to take my son to like a graduation thing and all that. So my day is going to be broken up. Anyway, let me stop complaining. I'm just explaining. So I'm going to turn my focus and try to at least get started on pruning my tomatoes a little bit. I got about 15, 20 more minutes while I can be out here. And let me see what I can get done in that 15 or 20 minutes. So we have something going on in both places. So my husband came down here to help me fertilize the garden. So I talked about this on a previous video about how I'm fertilizing usually every week in the summer, no more than at a minimum every 2 weeks. And so on this particular fertilizing, I'm using Ultra. I am using the Nitrogen 111 from in my gardener, and then I'm also using a product called Regalia, which helps build up your plant's defense system. It's almost like immunity for your plants. So that's what I'm using on this time. And he's doing both the inside of the tunnel and the outside garden. We're using our Petro 4-gallon pump sprayer, and this one solution did both areas, the whole tunnel and the whole outside garden. Okay guys, we've gotten a lot accomplished on this video. I've had to come back and kind of do the closing, but thank you guys so much for joining us today, as we got a lot of things done in the tunnel, and then as well as outside, mainly outside. So I will keep you posted on how the Comfrey cuttings do, and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.